Balance Pictorial Weekly, the 5th of January 2024. Last night I went out on the town, celebrate the end of Christmas, and I met a few friends. We went to several pubs, and some of the whiskey I got, I was a bit suspicious of it. Like, it was sort of this colour. It smelled something between methylated spirits and poachine. And I didn't like to be antisocial, so I drank some of them. Anyway, I got left home, and when I was home I was a little bit hungry, and I had a slice of brown bread, bit of butter, and a bit of blackcurrant jam. Just one sandwich, just like that, right? No, not like that, just like that, blackcurrant jam. And I rolled into bed. I was over on my own at the farm, and no family or anyone around. And I rolled into bed, and before too long, I was sound asleep. Not like that. Not like that. Like this. Just like that. Just like that. And the next thing, I was dreaming. And it sort of turned into a nightmare. I dreamt that the Irish Freedom Party nominated me to stand for election, and I got elected to Dáil Éireann. Unbelievable. But it was a nightmare and a dream. So I was turning and twisting, and I headed up. I got a letter to attend and bring my certificate. I got a certificate from the returning officer, bring it up, and I went up. And all the newly elected TDs were there. Either old ones returned, there wasn't too many of them, or new ones. They're all kind of ones, funny looking ones, women, weird looking ones, hippies, all of that. And as I was dreaming this, the clerk at the Dáil read out all the names. And he read them all out, and he never mentioned me. So I went over to him when they were all getting up, and I said, I was elected too, there's my certificate. You never mentioned me. Oh, he says, it must be a mistake. So I gave him my name, and he wrote it down, and he called it out, and I said, I'll shop, which means I'm here. So we then went out for a photograph. They wanted us out for a photograph of this Dáil, and needless to say, all the Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil were in the front row. Sinn Féin was in the middle row, and they gave them a forum. And Mary Lou had to be lifted up got her up on the forum, and she was a bit wobbly. I was afraid she'd fall. Mary Lou MacDonald. So you had Leo Varadkar, Micheál Martin in the front row with Eamon Ryan on his own. He had lost all his candidates except himself. And the next thing was, we were in the back row, myself and Justin Barrett of the National Party. And Justin now is a smallish fella. I'm 5'10.5". So he complained that he couldn't be seen. And they said, that's just tough luck. We have only one forum, one long chair. So I remembered I had a lather out in a painting lather out in the van. So I tipped across to where I was parked in that Boswell's Hotel. I didn't know you could park in the complex there. And I brought out this lather, a tall lather that you could paint ceilings and stuff from. And I brought it back, and I said, I'll go up on this. And Justin says, no, I'm the smallest, I should get up on that. So I had to leave Justin up, and the only way I could get my photograph taken was to stick my head out the side. No, not like, I should be like that. Not, I should be like that. But I don't look like that. Just like that. Right? Just like that. Not like that. Just like that. Just like that. So the photograph was taken. I haven't seen it since. I don't know what it turned out like. I think it was in the paper. So then we were into a room and we were told the rules of the Dáil. The Dáil would assemble and the existing government parties would stay in power until a new government was selected, and the Cancórla, Sean Fergal, would stay in the chair, and that we had to be of very good manners. We couldn't use unparliamentary language, no foul language, no giving out, and you had to describe everyone as deputy, and that included Ryan. I wanted to give him a tongue and off. I wanted to give him a ball and off inside in the house. But they warned me against doing that. So anyway, this wasn't the day for it, I suppose, in any event. So in we go, and Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil were on the benches on the right, together with ones that were likely to associate with them. Ryan and Fine Gael and Sinn Féin were on the left. So it's like a horseshoe. The speaker's up here, the Cancórla, and it comes down like this, and then it goes round in a circle. And everyone was nearly in place, and I was there, and nobody gave me any seat. I was beginning to wonder, I seem to be kind of ostracised. So I sat in the very middle, in the third row. And the Cancórla said, we have to elect a Cancórla, but before we do, all newly elected deputies, a deputy, you deputise for the constituents, that's what they say in Ireland, you're a deputy. It's not like MP, it's a deputy. And he says all newly elected deputies will get a maiden speech. You get to address the House. So he says there's a limit on the amount of words you can, and the amount of statements you can make. He says we can't have half-hour speeches from newly elected deputies. He said we'd be here too long. He says keep it short. He says I'm only allowing 5,000 words for the whole lot. And he had some kind of a device to count the words. So all of the newly elected TDs got up and gave their pitch, and the Cancórla was stopping them, and they were all going too long. So some of them said, you know, they'd build houses. Some had promised to build houses. There were women there 25 years of age, and they were going to build the Dimble and all. They didn't have a trowel, they didn't have a bucket, they had no mixer, they had no shovel, yet they were going to build all around them. They were all about building windmills and not building windmills and electric cars and all of this. One of them asked the deputies that was already elected last year, did they have electric cars? And none of them seemed to have any. In any event, all of those got their say. And then the Cancórla, the speaker, said, I'm going to move on. And I said, sir, Cancórla, I am elected. I have my certificate here. I have my certificate. I was elected. Didn't say anything. Oh, he says, what's your name? And I gave him my name, Deputy Val Martin and Cav Monaghan. And he looked at the list. Oh, he says, I see you here all right. Now he says, the machine here says we've used up all but 3 sentences. You can only have 2 sentences to give your maiden speech, and 1 sentence to reply. So at this stage, I was dreaming away. Like that. Not like that. Like that. Just like that. I was dreaming away. And I found something kissing me. And I thought it was one of the female deputies. And then I noticed they seemed to have a moustache and a whisker. So I began to wonder, who among the female deputies had a moustache and who had a whisker? And it was tickling me. So I decided to have a look. Now I was semi-conscious, I was still slightly asleep, and I come along And I opened one eye a little like that. Well, no, it was the right eye. Not like that. Not like that. Like that. I opened the right eye a little like that. And what did I see when I opened my eye? Only it was the cat. I had left the door open a little bit. I don't let her into the bedroom ever. But I left the door open and she climbed up the stairs. She got into the bed. She jumped up on the bed and she moved over to me and she smelt the blackcurrant jam around my mouth. And she started licking me. You see? And I thought that I was into some kind of a romantic relationship. But it turned out to be Dewish, my cat, filmed here when I made an earlier video. You see there? There she is. Turned out to be the cat. And she was licking the blackcurrant jam from around my mouth. And her whiskers was tickling me. And she had hair around her mouth. So I was so relieved because not only was there a harmless explanation with the cat, there was the relief from the fact that I was being targeted romantically as a rural hulk by some of the female members. So anyway, I dozed back. I dozed back to sleep. And like that. Not like this. It's more kind of a relaxing slumber. And the camcorder, I was back in the dawn. Now remember again, you have a U shape, like a horseshoe. You have the seats down each side and they come round like Hill 16 in Croke Park, those of you who know the football pitch in Dublin. And the Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil and other TDs were all on this side, on the right. And there was only a few of them left anyway. There was a heap of independents. And on the left-hand side was Mary Lou MacDonald with the Sinn Féin and Eamon Ryan on his own. He had only won one seat, his own. And there were the People Before Profit, Socialist Party, and a whole heap of all those Dublin ones, Richard Boyle Carrot, and all of these were there. And then there was the group of newly elected TDs, independents. If you were newly elected and you were in a party, you were over with the party. But if you were newly elected and you're independent, you were down at the side, directly opposite the camcorder. So I was in the third seat. And so, as I said, the camcorder had said, everyone gets to make a maiden speech, but it's limited to 5,000 words in total. Every new candidate gets his maiden speech. And so they all got up and said a few words. And some of them went a bit long, and the camcorder blocked them out a bit and said, that's enough. So when they had all done, I got no word in at all. And I put my hand up and I said, camcorder, I'm elected, I have my certificate here. And I never got saying anything. And he obviously was not too happy about me being there at all. And he says, looked at the record and it was written in pencil. The rest was all typed. And he says, oh, Deputy Martin, you have only 3 sentences. You can only say 3 sentences. You get 2 sentences in your maiden speech, and you get 1 to respond to any comments that's made by the deputies here present. So I could only say 2 sentences. And then I had just 1 to respond. So there was no point getting up to talk about European law, migration, housing, or anything else. That had all been done. And I was left to last. So I thought for a minute, and I tapped the microphone in front of me, and it wouldn't work. It wasn't working. That seems to be what they intended. So I had a phase tester in my pocket. I always carry a phase tester. And I bent down under the seat, like that. No, not like that. Like that. And I looked up, had the glasses on, and I saw that somebody had disconnected one of the wires underneath from this microphone. So I just give it a little twist. I stuck the wire in, twisted it back, and when I got up and tapped it, you could hear that, I can't replicate it here. I don't know, but you could hear it hitting, like that. When I tapped, it was working. So I don't think it went down too well. So I said, a cancorla, that means the speaker. And I turned over and I pointed to the deputies on the right. That's the Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and all those. And I said, all of you are a bunch of idiots. And I held up a piece of paper like that. You're all a bunch of idiots. That was one sentence. Just like that. I held it up. You're all a bunch of idiots. They didn't look too pleased. And then I pointed over to the left, where Eamon Ryan and all the other left-wingers were, and the Sinn Féin. And I said, holding up a piece of paper, you're all a bunch of fools. Get that? Now, just to clarify, you only could say it once. So I had said to the ones on the right, you're all a bunch of idiots. See there? And then on the left, I said, you're all a bunch of fools. You could hear a pin drop. There wasn't a sound. Just like this. Not like that. Like this. There wasn't a sound. So it seemed none of them were going to respond. And just then, Eamon Ryan stood up, of the Green Party. He was there on his own. He stood up. He says, Las Cancorla, this is outrageous. I'm not a fool. Now, just again, he says, this is outrageous. I'm not a fool. So, to let you know again, I had said to the ones on the right, the Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, you're a bunch of idiots. I'd said to the ones on the left, you're a bunch of fools. And Eamon Ryan got up and said it was outrageous. He was not a fool. So I had only one sentence left. And the cancorla nodded to see if I wanted to speak. And I got up and I said, Mr. Ryan, join the idiots over there. Mr. Ryan, join the idiots over there. So. Not like that. Just like that. You're a bunch of fools. You're a bunch of idiots. I'm no fool. Well then, join the idiots over there. See you back.